and Waffles restaurant with his girlfriend 2 years ago this month. According to court testimony, PnB Rock was wearing a few $100,000 worth of jewelry at the time. The jury found that Freddie Trone ordered his then 17-year-old son to go in and rob Allen. The teen was armed with a gun. The rapper was shot and killed and his jewelry stolen. This is Freddie Trone in court earlier today when he heard Rakim's mother and aunt give their victim impact statements. The court did not allow the camera to show their faces. The first to speak to Trone was Rakim's mother.
Rakim was a shining light in our family. He was a star to us. He was our Michael Jackson, and we are devastated. We are trying to live with this, but it's very hard. It's very hard. We can't, it's hard.
That is manipulation of the evidence that was presented to them.
Trone's attorney asked for a new trial in this case. Judge Connie Quinones denied that motion. Trone was sentenced to 31 years and 4 months to life in state prison. The second person to speak was the late rapper's aunt.
He worked very hard for everything he achieved, always trying to provide for his mom and his 4 brothers to create a better future. But in an instant, his life was stolen, leaving a void that will never be filled.
Another defendant, Tremont Jones, was sentenced to 12 years for his part in the robbery that day. Rakim's mother and aunt also told Jones that he and Trone had caused them a lot of pain.
Luce Cannon could be in real big trouble. Luce Cannon has been running his mouth for a whole year online. And the FBI has all kinds of footage and tapes to really go through and comb through to listen to the things that he said when he opened his mouth. Now, they're locked up with extortion, all kinds of stuff, right? And he's online talking about what happens when out-of-towners come to LA, how they use elaborate schemes and plots to rob you, right? To get you robbed, and then you go to them, right, when you check in, and they, for a price, they get you back your stuff, right? They know all the places where they go to melt stuff, where they melt the jewelry down. They do all you got to do is give it up. Well, PnB Rock, who's from my city, Philadelphia, was out in living out in LA, and he got robbed 2 years ago and unalived, right? But guess what? We're hearing now that Big U and Luce Cannon was in there. They was in the restaurant at the time. And Luce was in there with his girl. And remember, these guys are known for robbing people, right? Let's look at what Luce Cannon said a couple months ago when he broke this down, when he running his mouth. Check this out.
Roscoe's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So I felt it was like super messed up because at the end of the day, it was me and Big Useless in there when it happened. So when it happened, I wish I could have just told him like, bro, just give up the jury and we get it back to you later. But it just happened so fast, and he wasn't cooperating, and that's when they took it off of him by force. You get what I'm saying?
What do you say to a person who won't give up their jury when something like that's happening?
No, give it up and then check in with the real people. So we're gonna find a jury and we're gonna get it because we know all the pawn shops, we know all the people that's gonna melt it down and everything like that. So as soon as it comes on their table, we got it. Okay, get it, go in that back room, make that phone call, put them on the phone. That's how it works.
So he was going on multiple podcasts, just running his mouth and talking about this diner, right? And just like saying things that if you're a street guy, you shouldn't really be saying, right? Now we know that you are a guy that's known for strong arming, right? And supplemented, strong arming. So the homie is inside the restaurant with his jewelry on with his girl. He gets approached and he gets clapped, right? Because he don't want to give up his jewelry. He gets clapped. The father and the son goes to jail for it. But like you say now, they got a policy where they don't run their mouth, so they don't tell. But now with all these indictments coming, it's going to be a lot. Listen to this part.
So you going into my next question. You went on a podcast and you said that you was in the diner at the same time PnB got robbed.
Yeah, Roscoe's. We was all in there.
Was
But
that
that's the good thing.
was that on Manchester?
No, that's not the one on Manchester.
Okay, yeah. When I was in LA, I was on the one on Manchester, but the one that he was on was where? Where was that at?
On Broadway.
Okay,
So
so you was in there with your lady, because your lady spoke up too and said, "Yo, we was in there."
yeah. So basically, the one on Manchester is in Inglewood.
Mm.
That's like really a no. Not from me.
Oh,
Can't
you
go
can't
there.
go there. You being in there, you big loose cannon. You couldn't do nothing to like pump the brakes.
No, see, the thing is, it's like he had no security, and he had all his jewelry on, and he
Right.
shouldn't be in a spot like that.
And then we get to PnB Rock. PnB Rock is in an interview before he was unalive. He's talking about the culture in LA and how easy you can get robbed as opposed to in Philly. They do a lot of things on the creep on the come up. You know what I mean? You know, they run up on you in the dark, or they creep. He said in LA, they come right to your face. They want you to know that they did it. Right? And he's saying there's a different culture out there, right? But he's explaining the culture of Los Angeles right before he met his demise. Check this out.
Be like every
They
time
trying to take your jewelry or some shit?
I don't know, but they be like, I be not where I'm from. We like sneaky. Like in LA, it's like they bold. It's like they want you to know. They want to spark a conversation with you first before they get into some shit. Some of them might just go crazy. Majority of the times I got into, they just gave a drop up too fast. You feel me? So the second time I got was talking, wanting me to hear their conversation, and it's like I'm with my peoples, like I'm with my daughter and my girl. Like, why they talking about this shit? Like with this around, like we outside, we on Fairfax. I'm like, man, I already peed the blitz. We out. I'm like, man, we out of here. You feel me? Like we going. My girl, like, no, we ain't. What's wrong? I'm like, I'm just going off of the vibes. Like we out.
Is she peeping the energy? Because I'm
she
you
ain't
on
peeping.
point.
Yeah, she ain't peeping. She was thinking I'm tripping
about women sometimes.
She be thinking I'm
man.
tripping. So in the mix of all this, I'm like, no, we out. So she peeped that I'm serious. She's like, no, we out. We drive probably like 2 blocks in the street. She'd be pulled over somewhere else. Like, oh, I wanted to go to this store right here. And then in the mix of me, like telling her like where the park at, it's like somebody just came to the parking spot, like the same spot that we.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, they must have been following me or something, bro. How the behind me this fast? Like I ain't even look. I look back. And then when I walk past, like the car bombed out, like the max.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting all this heat coming from the car though. Like I'm feeling the energy coming from the car. I'm like the car, like on some other shit. I ain't go in the store for 2 seconds. The same people coming from out the car, hop in the store, say some banging shit, like some. I don't know what they
Set tripping,
but it was like something that I recognized the energy. You feel me? I'm like, what? You feel me? Like he like started talking to me with some gay, bro. Do you know me? Like you know me from somewhere? He like, yeah, I know you is. Trying to get me to like get into some shit. So I'm like, man, I flagged him off and I just walked out the store because I already know like what it for me.
You know that make you nervous? It's like you would like your girl.
No, that's why I be trying to be cool, because you don't want to be nervous and make it seem like something about that. You want them to be as calm as possible. You feel me? You want your girl and your kids to be like making it seem like everything is cool. Ain't nothing about to happen to us. You feel me? Like we super good. So I just be cool. I just kept it cordial. I'm like, come on, maybe out.
So I kind of feel like Luce Cannon knew that indictments was coming, or maybe he was already working with the feds, because he was also laying out videos where he was telling people when he stopped messing with Big U, he said, "Yo, get rid of that check-in stuff." Because when we go to the East Coast, man, when he go to New York, man, they lay out the red carpet for him. He go check in, they make sure he good, man. He ain't got to worry about nothing. The East Coast guys ain't on that slimy trickery trying to rob me stuff. When we come in from the West Coast, it's hospitality. Right? That's what he was saying. So he was saying, like, no, I ain't dealing with don't do check-in. We need to treat the East Coast guys the same way they treat us when they come to our town, right? They can't, the situation that happened with PnB Rock, you can never come here, right? But this is the thing. Check this out.
That when you come out of town, just go and do your business.
Right.
Go to like the W Hotel, get like 2 rooms, one for you to fuck the bitch if you want to do that, and then one to sleep in. Because if you do not do that, like bro, we got somebody at the desk that's gonna give us a key card.
Ah, that's terrible, man. But we don't do that to y'all when y'all come to New York.
I know that's
Y'all
the
niggas,
problem.
y'all diabolical. Y'all be like Pop Smoke, PnB Rock. We all our East Coast niggas is victims when we come out there, bro.
Man, and that's what I try to tell them. That's why I said I'm taking a stance, and it's like no more checking in. You get what I'm saying? Just do your business. Ain't no extortions, nothing going on. Because when we go to New York, I feel at
You feel
ease
at
with
home.
love.
Y'all
But I
niggas
check in with the homies, and I be like, look, I'm here or whatever like that. Let's have a good time. Like, but sometimes that the New Yorkers or the out of towners don't know their boundaries. It's still LA.
I'm gonna say this, right? I want you young people, you can learn from this. Social media is something that we should use. We're in the greatest time of living that probably ever, right? Man, you can press start on your phone and you can go live and you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars, man. Telling your story, being creative, right? But be yourself. You don't have to create these characters and try to be something that you're not in order to get clout from people. Because this is the flip side of the game, right? This guy come online, he claiming to be a gangster. These guys claiming to be Crips and Pirus, and they telling everything. Big U, before he turned himself in, he start naming names. You ain't supposed to do no telling. You ain't supposed to be in front of no camera naming no names to nothing. You supposed to keep your mouth shut. Period. These guys is talking about criminal activity. They sitting next to Vlad. They sitting next to Adam 22. They're talking about everything. So I'm trying to tell you, the streets is a myth. These guys is not from the streets. Leave the streets alone. Because they're telling. Everybody's telling. You got Suge Knight in jail telling to get out. He's talking about all kinds of stuff. All these so-called OGs, real N-words, is telling. Right? So the world I grew up in is over with. We in the digitized digital world where there's no more privacy and no more secrets. Everybody's telling everything. So like I said, this is a new world. So all that he a snitch and one no, that stuff don't exist. Listen, snitch is normal now. Snitch is normal now because you got OG kingpins that come home. They got YouTube channels. They talking. Everybody's talking. So Luce Cannon is online telling everything. So what you think when he get down there and the feds want to have a conversation, they want to brief him? He already told them everything. He gonna be, you know what Luce Cannon gonna tell him? When y'all want me to start? What year? That's what he gonna tell him. When do y'all want me to start and what year? Because he's already online telling. He just gonna add on to what he's been saying. Well, tell me what you guys think, man. Do you think that they had something to do with PnB Rock's unaliving? Where they're now admitting that they were there and they're talking about the way these elaborate schemes and the way robberies go down? Let me know what you guys think, man. Leave your comments in the comment section. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Hit that like button, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button and you leave your comments, man, so that my videos can get back out there to viral. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.